Let's talk about lighting. It's really not as difficult or as expensive as some people make it seem. I'm going to make this quick, and then I'm also going to suggest a few different big key lights that are a good price. I'm Dad, and I hope I don't waste your time. Currently, I only have my overhead lights on, and, well, I cheated a little bit. I gave myself a small light because it was a little bit dark without that. But first of all, you need one good light. This can just be a light bulb. Take the first light you need is known as a key light. Very simply, you just need a bright light, a little bit off to the side from your camera and pointed directly at you. It can just be a light bulb. If you can dim it, that's even better. Take the shade off a lamp or something, and you're all set. Without this little one in front of me, you really wouldn't be able to see me at all. So, turn on key light. Now that we have a key light set up, we're going to go ahead and turn off any ceiling or lights we have behind us. Now I know it's darker, but hold on, I'm not done. Next up, what you need is known as the hair light. This will very nicely outline your shoulders and your head, your hair, ears. It will outline you, help separate you from the rest of the room. Mine is clearly pointing down a little too far and lighting up my wall. Next, it's sort of your personal preference of how you want to light up the rest of the room, because you don't want to make it look like you're sitting in a dark room. Certain lighting is going to give off different vibes, and some are going to feel more professional than others. So it depends if you're trying to do a certain type of YouTube video or you're trying to do a Zoom call at work. You might want to stick with a white or soft white. One thing that I like to do to separate myself from the background is to use two different shades of white. In the back, I'll use more of a brighter white, a bluer white, and then the light that I'm using to light myself is more of the soft white. And if you're doing something more like streaming, especially video games, you can have some fun with it and just go crazy. My first attempt for lighting was taking Notepad and maximizing it on a third monitor and trying to use that as my lighting. After that, I moved to this little guy. This can be very bright, but the only problem is when it's something that small, the light really isn't going to be diffused at all. It's going to be bright, and you're going to have harsh lines all over. So I recommend the larger light, the better. But for most of us, we don't have that kind of space. The next attempt of mine was a 10-inch ring light, which only worked a little bit better. And that's actually what I'm using right now for my hair light. When I moved into this studio, I finally decided to go quite bigger with my lighting setup. And I finally went with an 18-inch ring light, and it became such a clear difference because before, with those other lights, for the most part, it was an on or off. There wasn't any dimming. With these, I have to dim it as low as it can go, well, almost, to get a real nice diffused lighting. In this space, I have two different 18-inch ring lights. There's one here in front of me. There's another on the far end of the room that I use for my lounge light. They're both 18 inches. They both look almost identical with the same remote control. So I think for the most part, a lot of these come from the same place. Just try to find one that has really good reviews and is a good price. This one I have linked down below because this, out of all my lights that are in here, except for one I'm going to show you, isn't even available anymore. So my most recent purchase was more for testing from a company that I respect, and that's Neewer with 2 E's. It's a very, very large ring light. It says it's 18 inches, but I've compared it to the other ones, and I think it's actually a bit larger with 4 rows of LEDs in it, and it comes with covers. Diffusers. There's a white set and then there's an orange set, and the orange set is made to give it more of a soft white. As excited as I was to receive this product, it was a bit of a disappointment. Besides the fact that you have to place the covers on it, it doesn't come with any of them on. There is no remote control. There's power on and there's dim. And that's it. For what I paid, I would have expected a lot more. Now, in the next case, it was the opposite. I paid very little and I got a lot. Now, this is one that isn't available at the moment, but I will link below another one just like it. This one is the G-Max. This is full RGB, and it comes with so many options for your coloring. For your colors? Coloring. For your color... For your coloring? That didn't sound right. You know what I mean. All right, so I'm going to try to go through these as quickly as I can. So if anyone watching is prone to seizures, might want to look away because some of these can be a bit jarring. So there is a dimmer switch on this end. And then on this one is all your options. So you can go through your colors. I'm going to let my eyes adjust and I'll be right back. So for those of you that are YouTubers and streamers, or you're looking to get into the industry, one thing that you've probably seen a lot are lights like the Elgatos. You've seen these big box lights that do a lot of diffusing, but they're massive. I honestly have no room for anything like that. I've got the corner of the room on the other side of the camera here. These 18-inch ring lights really do the job for what I need. Now, I would prefer if the one that I have is a little more off to the side, but currently I moved it because I got a stand-up desk and I needed it attached to the desk. Majority of these 18-inch ring lights, which vary in name, but they all seem to be very similar, probably manufactured in the same plant, generally go between $65 and $90, including the RGB one. And then lights like the Elgato key light, which isn't as big, it is a little bit smarter in ways, but for what you need it to do, all of that really isn't necessary. That's listed at $180. And if you start getting into the professional large box lighting with the large diffusers and takes up tons of room and it's kind of an eyesore when you're in the room, those, yeah, you're looking at... If you're still with me, links and prices down below in the description. And to go over the lighting real quick, once again, turn your overhead lights off. Key light at about a 45-degree angle from the camera. You want a hair light up above pointing down towards your shoulders and your head. And then a little ambient lighting in the room behind you. You're golden. I'm Dad, and I really hope this didn't waste your time. Isn't even available anymore. God, I had to itch. Oh, I was trying to hold off. Woo!